Glenn Hall. JB, do you remember me from Prius days? Zyklon B. Peterson? Absolutely. How's it going? Welcome back. Or if you've been here the whole time. How you all doing? You're back from Santa Barbara, but yeah, I'm back, Patriot Government. Probably heading back, honestly. Apparently, I was, even with that horrible panel choice, I guess I was appreciated over on his side. Toe Knuckles says, "Hi JB, I believe in evolution, I think." Well, at least you admit it's a belief. We were allowed to leave, that's funny. Today we're going to look at Jordan Peterson. I don't know what kind of medication he's on or what kind of medication he shouldn't be on. But man, is he a mess. I don't know how someone got their rise telling men to get their shit together. And the dude can't even order a plate of oysters without losing his shit. It's like he's giving a eulogy every time you ask him a question. It's like everywhere he goes is a funeral. Dude, get it together. Unbelievable. I think the funny part about this is that he's coming on this show, Piers Morgan here, just like a week after Andrew was up with that one dude who was crying. Or like, he was like, I cry every day. Piers Morgan has to make his way through this. You're being quite a puss. Oysters, yeah. Oysters are good. It's almost like he's not just crying. He's like falling apart at the seams. I mean, it's getting wild. Why does he cry constantly? I think it's a sort of mental, spiritual thing. I think he's always had like a tweaked mind. I just read some of his maps of meaning the other day, just a peek into his soul. I mean, you guys ever hear the poem he wrote, or the essay, the dream he wrote about his grandma? I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, I hope he gets the help he needs. So we'll look at that. Maps of memeing. You know who was in my Discord yesterday? Brenda is back. You guys remember Brendan? That was funny. Brenda tried to make the transcendental argument for God, but she replaced God with a penny. It was pretty funny. Didn't work out well. Radeems says, JB still hasn't accepted my friend request on Xbox. Is it your name? Because I never know who's friending me on Xbox. I have no idea who it is, so I just don't accept any friends. But, yeah, give me your name, Radeems. Is it Radeems? I'll accept your friend request. I'll play some... You play FIFA? I play FIFA with my oldest daughter. It's really fun. I mean, I yell at her a lot. Like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Why would you pass it like that? Ben, $5. He cries because he needs to shite. I mean, maybe. We're going to look in a second. It's going to be quite funny. I mean, I hate to laugh at a guy who's broken inside, but that's what I do here. Why not? Bring back shame. You gotta bring back the shame. The Cut says for $5, what's up, buddy? Hoping to get back to whatever with a better panel. And where can I get your books? You can get my books, for everyone listening, at madebyjimbob.com. There are only 3 volumes available. The first 2 are sold out completely. 3 is heading in that direction. 4 and 5 are still fairly plentiful. I think there's an option to get all 3. You get a deal. 3, 4, 5. So... She got steam shovel. Oh, the steam shovel. That's hilarious, dude. Good afternoon, Arthur. How are y'all doing? There's a misconception about crying. I mean, there could be. It's pretty, I mean, it's not, it doesn't look so good on Jordan Peterson. For a man, it's enough to almost cry. Like, if you almost cry, you're basically cried, and so people are, oh, I get it, he's feeling something. But you don't have to actually do the whole thing. I think is that the misconception you're talking about? then I agree. Wait, that's not it. Okay, let's take a look at it. All right, Penelson. You guys are in for it. Poor guy. I mean, out of nowhere, too. He's just a wreck. He's just an absolute wreck. I'm going to tell Andrew to fake cry on Piers Morgan. That would be really funny. Starts flubbering. Is that a word? Flubbering? All right, Peterson. Let's see what you got. What's wrong now?
You know, and that's a pretty damn good model, and it's certainly exemplified, well, of course, by the figure of Christ in the New Testament, who's meta-shepherd, you might say, and capable of keeping the worst evils at bay while simultaneously serving the most alienated and vulnerable. And that's the right model for masculinity. And if you don't think that exists, well, you're definitely part of the problem and not part of the solution. And maybe you're a woman who's been damaged by men who've entered into your life who are radically immature or mad users of power. And that's really sad. And there's plenty of that too. But that doesn't mean...
Meta Shepherd? Adam? Yeah, Meta Shepherd. That sounds like a new Daily Wire movie. Meta Shepherd. The Daily Wire presents the first ever featured film from Daily Wire Productions, Meta Shepherd.
Mean that at its core, there's something pathological about masculinity. And it certainly doesn't mean that the radical leftist proclivity to describe everything as an oppressive patriarchy and to make men weak is doing anything other than hurting young people right to the core. And Starmer's posturing with regards to adolescence is only going to make that worse. It's bad psychology, and it's not only that, it's also oriented not to help young people, but to make Mr. Starmer feel a hell of a lot more secure in the idiot presumptions of his dimwit progressivism. So, and that's really the fundamental aim. It's like, how can we show we're right? And if we have to burn some young people on the pyre to make sure that our moral presuppositions can remain intact and our faith in our idiocy remains unchallenged, then we might as well teach kids using a Netflix series on adolescence. Jesus, brutal, pathetic, to the core, this terrible moral posturing.
I'm definitely clipping that part right there. That's going to be a Stream Deck asset right there. Boom. Thank you, Jordan Peterson.
Right, and if we have to burn some young people on the pyre to make sure that our moral presuppositions can remain intact and our faith in our idiocy remains...
He literally looks like a lobster. I thought I was a little red from my trip to Kauai, but boy, you feel attacked.
unchallenged, then we might as well teach kids using a Netflix series on adolescence. Jesus, brutal, pathetic, to
Right
the
there.
core.
Right there. That's my stream deck asset right there. Brutal, pathetic.
Terrible moral posturing. You know, that's, I think, the most pathological element of our age. You know, how can we garner as much undeserved moral credit as we possibly can? Well, we'll stand up against toxic masculinity and we'll worship the planet. You know, God, it's so appalling, so destructive. And the evidence is also in Pierce. It's like, look at Germany, for God's sake. What a mess. And you guys in the UK.
You don't say. Germany's not doing so well. Ben, $5. We need to get Alex from PWF on Piers Morgan. Absolutely. I think this, like, this trend we could make happen is getting the unexpected people on shows that they didn't earn. So for the first one that came up was Nathan Rager, right? The whacked out Protestant rapture dude. Get him on Tim Pool for no reason. Like, you just get him on there. You know, get these types on Piers Morgan. Just completely undercut the assumed sort of elite status of people who need to be on this show. You know, there's a certain status you need. Just undercut it once a week. Just be like, and out of nowhere, this guy comes on. Why not?
You're not much better.
Didn't read your super chat. Sorry about that. Let me see. What do we got? Oh, Lewis Milbank, £2. Pull up Andrew making the cry face from Pierce. Yeah, I got a clip of that too. This is a. I mean, he didn't even get started. Peterson hasn't even started. He didn't even turn the faucet on yet. That would be a funny cartoon, is like Jordan Peterson's talking, and then you zoom inside his body, and there are these little, like, worker elves, and they turn, you know, the valve wheel of the water pipes. You know, one turns, and he starts kind of getting emotional, and then they turn the other one. And then they build up a pressure valve, and then finally explodes, and he just floods the studio he's in, and everyone drowns. Jordan Peterson's super move, if he was like in Mortal Kombat, would be to drown everyone in his tears. He'd just cry, and everyone dies.
And we're walking down the same road in Canada. So Western Europe as a whole, you know. I've gone through Eastern Europe many times now, talked to many Eastern Europeans there, and they're appalled at what's happening in the West, and they're rightly so. It's all part of the same mess that Starmer's still pushing, you know. A race to the bottom. Christ.
The bottom.
Yeah.
Why don't you cry about it, dude?
Jordan, I'm always struck by how emotional you get when you talk specifically, and this has happened a few times when I've talked to you. When you...
Pierce just literally set him up. He's like, can we get some tears? Jordan, can we get some tears from you? Live in the studio? Yes. That costs money. I told you before I came on. Here's my rate. It's $7,000 to get on the stream. It's an extra $7,000 for me to cry, bucko. Thought you read the contract. Pathological, Dustin says for $5, Pathological is Christological's brother. Superstitious Catholic gangster with icons and talismans that keep him safe while doing robberies. It's funny. Pathological. It's like you didn't pay me yet. If you want the tears. If you want the tear gears to turn, you better hit up my wallet, son.
I think when your mind takes you specifically to young men who've come and told you what they've been going through, and it's almost like you've become a surrogate dad to just, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of young men who, for whatever reason, have been lost and feel abandoned and feel confused and don't have anyone to try and steer them to, you know, some better place. Why does it affect you so emotionally, that?
Well, you know, Pierce, before my public presence emerged, let's say, or developed, I worked as a clinical psychologist, and that was pretty intense. You know, I spent about 13 hours a week, maybe more than that, listening to people at a very deep level. I really liked that. It was unbelievably interesting. You know, it was like one Dostoevskian novel after another, hour by hour, and I really learned to listen. You know, and people are so fascinating if you listen to them and they actually start to tell you what they think. You know, they're unbearably interesting. It's just partly why people keep the conversations at a shallow, you know, and polite level. And it's not surprising. But I like to go deeper than that. And that was kind of bounded when I was doing my clinical practice. You know, it was a set number of hours a week. And I had many other things to occupy myself with. But then when the work I was doing started to explode, I was in...
I mean, what is it, dude? How many... What is it? Why? Like, what's the context for already crying? I don't know. This is this is almost like someone died in the family and it's still like a week later and it's like still raw and you're in between like feeling gratitude and pain and it's all twisted together and it's all confusing, or after a huge like breakup of like 10, 15 years kind of thing where you're in shambles. I mean, that's the kind of situation that justifies this emotion, other than something just off. He definitely does the old tweezers in the pocket. Oh boy. You could play the fiddle soundboard. I know. I was like, do I stop it? Do I even stop the soundboard? Wi-Fi for $5. JP would make a great Protestant pastor with his ability to cry on command like that. Seriously. Poor guy. Like, I want to help him, but also beat him up. You know?
Contact with thousands of people, not individuals.
You'll never hear him you'll never hear him talking about abolishing the 19th Amendment. Yeah.
And they talked to me, and I could see.
Is JBP doing an impression of Jim Bob? Yeah, this is what happened. He stole my entire bit. Stole the whole damn thing. I'm gonna send his LLC or whatever a little letter. Cease and desist. Stop crying. I'm gonna send Jordan Peterson a cease and desist to say stop crying on TV interviews.
This demoralization, you know, and it's part of fatherlessness, broadly speaking, and sometimes specifically. And I could see the pathway to rectifying that. Like, the pathway to rectifying that, as far as I've been able to understand, and I've understood this more deeply as the years have gone by, is that we're built for adventure, Pierce, and you take on adventure by taking on maximal responsibility, and that's
It's like we're built for Wally's World, you know? And it's like what's happening in society is that these young men, they're promised a trip to Wally's World, and they get there and it's closed. it's like how are they supposed to get on the most fun rides, you know? It's like they're promised so much and they're given so little. No. It's like what I'm trying to do here, Pierce, is open up an infinite amount of Wally's World for the young men to ride on the rides. You know, it's just unfair.
Symbol of hoisting your cross voluntarily and trudging up the hill, right? And that's the symbol upon which our society is founded. And
it's like, what are they supposed to do when cosmic bowling's closed? It's like we're built for an adventure land, Magic Mountain, you know? It's like everything's broken and the hydraulics don't work. And the machine doesn't go up and down. And all the women look like men and all the men look like women. We're totally fucked.
The adventure of life justifies its suffering, and it's maximized with maximal responsibility. And it's maximized with truth, because if you tell the truth, what should happen as a consequence of the truth makes itself manifest in the world. And that's the best possible outcome. But it's also the most adventurous thing that you can do, the most exciting thing you can do, hands down. There's nothing that compares to it. That pathway of...
It's like, nothing compares to truth.
Maximal.
Now this is the part is really startling for me, what he does with his hands. He like sees things in the air. I tell you. Rachel Wilson, 5 gifted memberships. Rachel, how about all the simps coming in on your post? All you said is like, wow, look at this guy. He's basically doing your bit. She posted that to me, and all these dudes come in. He's helped so many people, Rachel. Which is ironic. It's like the people who simp really hard for Jordan Peterson, the claim is that he helped a lot of men. But apparently the fruits of Jordan Peterson helping a lot of men is a lot of men simping for Jordan Peterson. So you're like, what? They like it. You're like, dudes, it's like it's hyperbole. Oh, you don't touch my Jordan Peterson doll. Listen, lady, you will not touch my Jordan Peterson doll. You have no idea how much he helped me. Look at my room. JBP is red because he's channeling his inner lobster. That's right.
Responsibility.
Now, this is why truthers go crazy. This is why truthers read into this stuff, and they're all like, he's signaling. Like, this finger movement is so unnecessary and weird to me. He's like, truth and equality.
It happened.
Can you see it? It's on my finger.
And as a consequence of the truth makes itself manifest in the world. And that's the best possible outcome. But it's also the most adventurous thing that you can do, the most exciting thing you can do, hands down. There's nothing that compares to it. That pathway of maximal responsibility, voluntary
what are you doing?
Responsibility.
Bro, get this guy in a straitjacket, dude. Look, Peterson, we'll put iconography on the straitjacket for you if you want. But somebody call the wambulance. What are these signs? Forget the crying, you guys. You know, because we're used to it at this point. Forget the crying. That hand.
And truth.
Here, just look at it without his face for a second. You know, let me just play around here. Okay, let's just look at it without his face, just to see what we're working with.
Tell the truth. what should happen as a consequence of the truth makes itself manifest in the world. And that's the best possible outcome. But it's also the most adventurous thing that you can do, the most exciting thing you can do, hands down. There's nothing that compares
Speaking
to
of hands,
that pathway of maximal responsibility, voluntary responsibility,
what the
and
fuck,
truth. And
dude, what are you doing? You're making us all feel weird. Responsibility, maximum truth, and responsibility. There we go. You know, it'd be funny if there was like a light behind him and it would like just turn into a shadow puppet show. I just want to know what these codes mean. You know what I mean? It gets me thinking. Honestly. You're going to tell me that Jordan Peterson's not doing codes? He's not telling the elite cabal class what's going on? Are you serious? You really believe that?
And I understand that deeply. At a religious level, I understand that that's the symbolic world on which our
guys, come on. He's talking directly to his people. Jason McGinney, $5. Adventure is frying your brain on certain substances until the bagels hire you. Bagel. It's like I'm locked away. It's like I'm locked away in a fancy prison with a lot of nice tufted chairs, with a lot of grommets, a lot of leather and grommets around me, you know. It's like I'm used to being around red, white, and blue flags, and now I'm around a lot of just blue and white flags. Justin Henley, $5. Hot take, Rachel Wilson gets treated like a man on social media. Changed my mind, bucko. It's like, you knew. It's like, Scooby, let's get out of here. Well, Emmanuel says, my theory is that JBP is not talking to the audience nor to the interviewer, but to a demon floating around. The words also make more sense, like he is trying to negotiate. That's deep and dark and accurate, Will Emmanuel. Like, I guess thank you. It's like you could negotiate with them when they're in the air. It's like you got to get them while they're there. Do a Jordan Peterson impression. That's doing an impression of Becky. That's funny. It's like dun 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 dun. L's in the chat. It's like da 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 da.
Productive and peaceful culture was properly founded, and I've seen the effect of communicating that to people.
The effect.
Thousands of people, and it's a great privilege to serve that role, but it's also overwhelming, you know.
Oh, man. Teleport block, $5. Hey, JB. Found you through Andrew. Watched a bunch of those panels you did with Sarah Tomato. Hilarious stuff. Love your work. Thank you. Welcome. Teleport block. Appreciate you. The cut, $5. His words say one thing. His hands are speaking the opposite. Deaf people must go. Yeah, deaf. That's really funny. Deaf people watching Jordan Peterson, they're like, what? Like, what is happening? It's like it's a lot of responsibility to work for the Daily Wire and not to be able to say everything I could say. It's like a lot of responsibility to be gagged.
I think it.
You know, dealing with a gag order. Pierce Morgan is thinking, you know what Pierce Morgan is thinking? He's thinking, oh, I wish Andrew was here.
One of the things that made me, I was ill for quite a long time.
You was ill? just saying. I don't know if that's past tense, bucko.
Time. And I think,
Yeah, Piers Morgan is like, you're still ill. You're still ill. Stangley, $20. Thank you for the big 20. That's classic behavior of a person on way too many antidepressants. Yeah, it's like this weird seesaw dude. He's on like that seesaw. I mean, it's wild.
I think that was part of the reason. Just seeing this, like.
Do you think when he's done with the interview, like 3 people in white, like those white nurse suits, sort of like gather him, sort of shuffle him out of the room?
This malaise so deep, and that's also so easily addressed in a sense. You know, it's that paradoxical combination of depth of suffering and ease of rectification, you know, and I kind of understood what the concern.
You can act like a man! Shane Emmanuel, $14. Thank you. As a Canadian, I have respect for JP, but I'm sobbing like a baby is exactly what Andrew spoke of in the last appearance of being a weak when showing emotion. New follower here. Great job on whatever. Thank you so much, Shane. Yeah, it's a good thing to point to. I mean, he's beyond it. Like, I could see, like, being moved by something where you get a little choked up, something moves you. Okay. But this guy's an absolute, he's a wreck. He's an absolute disaster. Ben, $5. Thank you so much. Do you think Jordan cries while beating his wife? Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, when he does something really, like, aggressive. Can you imagine going hunting with him? Now that's content, dude. You hear that, Andrew? You're 1 degree from this guy. I mean, you're so close. Can you imagine Andrew taking this guy hunting? Okay, you just want to aim and breathe. And you want to get a good shot right in the heart. Quick death. And he's just sobbing. But Andrew makes him, like, drink the, do the Red Dawn. Forces him to drink the blood. Take a bite out of the heart. Actually, Jordan Peterson had no problem doing that. It's like, I'm just so thankful for the life and the body of this young deer, And he's just holding the heart while he's crying. It's just dripping from his hand. And I'm just thankful for you to take me out hunting. I've never done this before. And it's like killing something. It's like you're so, when you're a part of the death of something, it's like you're so present to your own life and your own potential death that you sort of get a shock, sort of an infusion of both gratitude and melancholy, And Andrew's all, are you going to take a bite of that heart? Take a bite of the heart. And it's like, there's just blood dripping down. It's like, and now this life force is a part of me,
Conservatives have done wrong all along, They tend to moralize in a finger-wagging way. You should do this. You should do. It's like a mix of blood and tears. It's like it doesn't need salt because it has my own salt coming from my eyes. I'm my own salt shaker,
Save some for me. It ain't nothing, $5. The hand waving is how he hypnotizes and tricks lesser men. That's true, dude. It's like the Vagine people. Shout out to Vagine. Doing the flute and the movement of the flute with the snake. Creates that red and attracts your eyes. Ritualistic voodoo, nothing more. It is kind of like a big performance for sure. It's very effective on people.
Do that, and
it's like hemoglobin.
There's truth in that. That imposition of.
You see Jordan Peterson on WWE would be hilarious.
Mature structure on immature.
If you guys ever see me obviously crying to this extent, not just the crying, but if I ever clean my tears the way he just did, I give you permission to attack me in public.
Have done wrong all along, you know. They tend to moralize in a finger-wagging way. You know, you should do this, you should do that. And there's truth in that, you know, that imposition of
you should wear a bib.
Mature structure on immature hedonism and disunion and disorientation. But it's much better to talk to young people about morality and truth as an adventure than as a moral burden, as something that enlightens and offers opportunity, which it absolutely 100% does. I've had so many young men come to me. I don't know how many, but there's thousands of them. Like,
Dev, I've had so many young men come to me in the night. Just thousands. All at different times, different hours, you know?
It's continual. Who say, you know, I was completely disoriented and lost 5 years ago. You know, I started putting my world in order a little bit, making my bed, you know, in that cliched way. At least it's a gesture in the right bloody direction. Trying to tell the truth, because now I understand that that's necessary. Trying to act responsibly, and like my life is completely turned around. And you know, these are guys.
It is? Dude. I'm sorry, Jordan, but if this is your life turned around, I don't know, I better turn around. You guys, if this is someone who says his life's turned around and you're following him, you need to turn around.
Guys are usually standing up straight and they have a girlfriend.
It's like they have a girlfriend and looks like a girl too. Hey, what's up, Vagine? How you doing?
I don't understand. Why is this funny? It's not strange to cry while you talk and poop.
I mean, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's totally justified to cry while you poop, but it's not for emotional reasons. Josh Earsley, $20. Thank you, Josh. Sunday was the first show where all the guests were locked in on the words spoken about the importance of low bodies. Your patients early on bought you a favor here. Your sincerity made it hard for them to brush you off. A success. Thank you, Josh. That's a good way of summarizing it. That is. Thank you. Shane for $7 Canadian. Sorry, Shane. Man, that debate you were on last week with that one dude who said it was brave to chop off his pecker. Your response absolutely killed me. Thank you. Yeah, bravery. It's okay to cry when you shave your arms. Mother! Come on! Look at your body, man! Alan Yee, $10. JP says, you might say it's bloody hard to super chat, but it's not! It's not hard to support the things that bring you joy and value. Just look at my online self-authoring suite, which produces a minimum of $85,000 a month. And my next chapter of my book is How to Cry in the Darkness. Draconian Methods, member for 10 months. Thank you so much. Strabismus means switching of the eye. Too much dilation. It tells you how much you can render when you're done with trauma, aperture, and dilation. Was I supposed to read that in James True's voice? Matthew Parsons gave a generous 10 Made by Jim Bob memberships. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. I think Vagine's about to say something glorious. Nothing said. A massive $50 super chat from India. Thank you so much, whoever sent that in. Your JBP sounds like Shaggy. Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's like, yoinks! That's kind of how I experience him, honestly. Like, he's always trying to solve a mystery, but it's incoherent. He's talking to a dog, you know, a dog of color. Jason Cassell, $20. Thank you, Jason. Okay, your new series of books should be self-help books by Peterson with an audio option of you narrating them. If I could do that, Jason, without getting sued for likeness or something, I probably would do it. Like, do a parody of Jordan Peterson. Now, I was working on something really funny that I might complete if I can find the maker. Stoopsy. You know who you are. It was a pull string Jordan Peterson doll. Not pull string, push button. You push his, like, chest. So it's a doll, and it's loaded with, like, 100 voice things that I do. And he just sits around. So I had him, and I would only make one of them. You know what I would do? I would make it, and then I would put it up for auction to my entire audience. But Ben Shapiro is another one. You know? Both of them. You could do the whole series. Brandon, $5 in JB's cry voice. It feels like some metaphysical substructure resembling glass that's been pushed through my crevice, amounting in immense suffering. It's like you've got responsibility, and you've got your room. It's like you eat a piece of deer heart with your friend. It's like it all crumbles down, you know? It's like ashes to ashes, we all fall down, you know? You know, people don't understand, you know? It's like I push back on degeneracy and hedonism. And I'd be, you know, it's not like I'm better than you. You know, I go on tour on all these speaking engagements alone in these fancy hotels, you know, surrounded by flesh. I'd be lying if I said after giving a talk I didn't have the sudden urge to stack some hoes in the room. You know? You know, there wouldn't be anything better than finishing a talk and signing some signatures on some books, coming home to a hotel suite filled with 304s. Johnny Lane, $5. My God, it's a race to the bottom, Splash Mountain with no water. Oh, should I read it in his voice? It's like, my God, it's a race to the bottom, Splash Mountain with no water after drop. Christ, the wellspring of hope in these little bitty men is tapped, you know? You don't actually believe that, do you? It's like, Tucker, it's like, have you ever felt the weakness of being a man? I've definitely felt the weakness, but I've overcome the weakness at the same time. Ever since I was visited by a demon who tickled my ribs. I didn't mind being tickled. I was a little bit afraid, but I still laughed.
Great holy cow. Is this what women sound like when we get caught up in our feelings?
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to start listening to more toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
I was so annoyed that I almost hurt my uncle's cow during that cry session.
Your uncle's, yeah, I know, right? How come Vagina's getting more based? It's really throwing me off. It's like, you know, Petrogard.
Petreji are they? You didn't tell anyone you would. I will literally fight you. Total fail. I still need to honor my bet and put in for a new Bob Vitar. I'll do it today.
Thank you, Petrogard. Yeah, I looked for the opportunity. I'm also on someone else's platform, and do you want to fight me? If people don't know it's a meme, it can probably get another platform in trouble. So, forgive me. As far as a Bobvatar, yeah, send over a new image. By the way, for those of you listening, if you would like, on madebyjimbob.com, here's some shameless shilling. I draw Bobvatars, which are versions of you that are drawn by me, and you can use them on your socials. They're quite cute. Thank you, Petrogard.
And maybe they have a baby, and maybe they're married, and they were bloody suicidal wrecks 5 years ago, and so great.
You knew he did it. Nice. I haven't heard an authentic in a while.
Like, my life is completely turned around, and these are guys who are usually standing up straight, and they have a girlfriend, and maybe they have a baby, and maybe they're married, and they.
It's like maybe they shave their arms. Who knows? Maybe they have a Lamborghini watch.
They were bloody suicidal wrecks 5 years ago, and so, great.
You follow the news, it always knows.
And as I've delved into that, I've started to understand more deeply why this works. And it does work because this pattern of voluntary self-sacrifice, that service to the truth, service to your wife, to your...
This guy is still having trouble here.
I apologize for taking the great holy cow's name in vain. Please don't stop the poo.
Oh, no problem, Vagine. I'm sure it's not a problem. It's like, he still references the truth like a proposition. He's stuck in propositional land, the poor guy. If you're stuck in pure propositional land for too long, and you've got the mind of Jordan Peterson, this is exactly what you'll see, honestly. Where else can you go? Jordan Peterson, what are you waiting for? Get your beat red ass into divine liturgy, dude. Stop crying. Quit crying. Cut it out.
Stop whining.
Jason Cassell, $10. Thank you, Jason. Why is Peterson so red? Are we witnessing Peterson's final form? Yes. It's like a metamorphosis. It's like the boy becomes a man, and the man becomes some image of himself that he hasn't reached the full potential of. And there's a sort of build-up. And in real time, he becomes his own monster. And the irony is that he has to defeat the monster, but the monster is himself. And some people's monster is a dragon. And some people's monster is a spider. My monster's a lobster. It's the top lobster. It's like I've got to find a way to boil myself and dip myself in butter such that I consume the lobster, the angry lobster that's inside of me. Remove its pinchers, crack the shells, wear a bib, clean up the table. That's like what's been so hard for me, It's like I've got a seat at the table, It's like the newspapers are all out for all the grease and the splashing and the shell breaking. And I've even got myself a shitty beer. And it's like I'm holding those crackers, that they give you at the venue. And I'm ready. I'm ready to take the next step, It's like dip yourself in butter.
Your kids, to the future, to your community, all of that is what makes your life rich and meaningful.
It's not what makes you rich, if you know what I mean.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
I said nothing, psychopath.
Because your self-regard and the significance of your existence is obviously proportional to the burden that you're willing to uphold. And that's the symbol that underlies Western culture. And I'm trying to teach people what that means, you know. The alternative is something like power and compulsion.
It'd be funny to take this entire rant and then cut to the audio of, sir, you're holding up the line. What kind of coffee would you like?
Or this...
So that's a number 3. You want a number 3 to go with small fries? Yes! I'm trying to explain to you in my terms. You know? It's like I go through the drive-thru and I feel this deadened sort of mechanical existence. You know, and I just want to connect with you, you know? It's like you're not just a person who's mechanically delivering me my French fries and my root beer. You're something more. And I just want you to know that.
Idiot hedonism.
Sir, this is Wendy's, sir.
That, you know, certainly does no one any good. And...
Pierce Morgan's like, wait a second. Wait, is this good for my channel or not?
Well, it's overwhelming, I suppose.
He's like, I'm so glad I'm not at his state of mind and his state of color. I mean, he's as red as the commie memorabilia he collects. Jordan Peterson, that's funny. Stop, you're making me cry.
The magnitude of it, I suppose, is what's overwhelming, but also that paradoxical juxtaposition of depth of suffering and relative ease of rectification.
What the... Blah, 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 blah. What is he saying?
You know, these things are so obvious when you lay them out. It's like, who do you admire?
Yeah, obvious. Pierce Morgan's like, I have no idea what you said this entire time. It would be funny if Pierce Morgan, once Peterson's done taking a breath, you know, once he takes a breath, he's like, can you repeat that? Can you repeat that, please?
You admire...
I mean, it's been like 19 minutes.
Some power-mad hedonist? Well, that would be Andrew Tate. Or do you admire someone who's taken on some responsibility? Like...
Oh, what was that? A dig at Andrew Tate? Because his daughter... Didn't Andrew Tate... You know. Isn't that what happened? He's all still... I just don't like the idea that Andrew Tate had his way.
Your natural proclivity in a healthy psyche is to admire the shepherd, let's say, you know, and not the goddamn tyrant.
Yeah.
And not the hedonist who lives for the what?
Not the hedonist who lives under the sea.
But for the immediate pleasure driven by his whims. No one, it's hard for me to imagine that to understand how we've forgotten these things. I guess that's...
Sar.
No, sir. Wait, please do not redeem your tears on Piers Morgan Uncensored. Wait, sir, no.
Wait, Sar, no. Thanks, Vagine. Oh, do we have a troll? What happened? I like to see my trolls. Oh, Ty G, is that the troll? You're just scared of the facts, dude? What facts? You don't have to mute him. I'm not the same as anyone you'll ever meet. First off, what? What is he saying? Oh, is he like a truther? Is he a truthersburg? Is he truthersburging? They always want to use the chat as their little platform. They think the chat is the platform. Like, no, dude, the chat is the bar, not the TV. It's like goddamn tiring fuck. Mr. Peterson, please put the weapon down.
The religious what would you say, the degeneration of the religious substrate in the West. We've forgotten what our symbols mean. And the thing is, Pierce, they mean something.
What do they mean?
This is something I've really figured out.
Oh, wow. Look at them.
We put the crucifix,
You put your right hand there. You put your right...
for example, at the center of our churches, and we put the churches at the centers of our towns. Particularly, that's a European thing. And the reason for that is because we long ago understood that the proper foundation of the world is voluntary self-sacrifice upward. And that's true. It's absolutely true. And if you understand that truth, your life becomes meaningful, even in its suffering, and you set things right around you. And everyone has to remember that in the West. We have to remember that. We have to relearn that. We're going to be weak in the face of Islamism, for example.
Oh, Islamism? Peterson, I think you forgot another ism. You're such a proponent of free speech, but the other isms you can't even say on the platforms, Peterson. Oh, it's the Islamism, right? Yeah, okay.
We're going to be weak in the face of progressivism and nihilism and
What about classical liberalism, Peterson? You little Enlightenment simp. It's like those scary people within the sand with the camels. It's like, what do we do in the face of them? You know? It's like they're a threat to our individualism, the other ism that I think is awesome. They're a threat to liberty above all. It's like, might as well bring them in to scapegoat them, you know?
Despair, and we are already.
That's what he's paid to really do. Sort of a misdirect. Yes, you want to fight against Islam because it's false. But, you know, Daily Wire and Company, Conservative Inc. and Company, their whole task is to keep this dialectic of like the scary Islam people attacking America. You know why they have to point to that? Because simultaneously, if there is a version of governance that even parallels or mirrors an Islam nation at all, it would be something that's informed by a Christian view. And these classical liberals, these constitutionalists that are just ultimately just completely loyal in the end, this Ben Shapiro group of people, Peterson included, all of those guys, James Lindsay included, they basically hold to a classical liberal individual liberty above all position. So they can't have something like Christianity take powerful positions of government and inform law, decency laws, and everything else from that position. And so what they do is they poison the well by putting Islam up on the stage, right? And they point to it and they say, this is bad. Why? Because it's doing this thing and it's overtaking liberty and all this stuff. And so then when a Christian comes along and says, we want to do this, and you know, we want this, we want to assert our position through the government, assert and deploy our ethical system through law, then they go, look at you're just like the Muslims, like this is not, you know, this is not Iran or whatever they're going to say, you know. It's like, it's a tactic. That is not, I will die. I am totally fine. You know, I don't agree with the complete destruction and degeneracy of the West. I'm not okay with it. Like, I don't like it. But I will die. I will die for your right to completely demolish the West. I will die for your right. And by die, I mean nominate other people to go to war for you. You know, I don't like the destruction of the West, and I know that culturally and morally, that's what it's declining, and nothing is actually keeping it intact other than Christian values. But I am never about using the government and inserting theology through the government. That is crossing a line. That is crossing.
And it's because we've forgotten the deepest
That is absolute. That is all, folks. That is all, folks.
things, not only the deepest things.
I will die for you to destroy yourselves. That is what I'm here for, folks. I will watch it happen. I will step in if someone intervenes with you guys destroying yourself. I will absolutely intervene if they get in the way of you destroying yourselves. The most important thing is when the West completely falls and crumbles into dust, the only thing that matters is that the Bill of Rights and the Constitution are all of those curly Q's and C's and R's and dotted T's and I's, crossed T's and dotted I's. That Constitution, that piece of paper is preserved. That is what I think about. That as long as that piece of paper is protected somewhere in someone's basement with glass, that the Constitution can be venerated. As long as there's one person who can venerate the Constitution, it doesn't matter if the West collapses. It doesn't matter. That's all, folks.
Things that we knew, but the very things that the best countries in the world have been founded on. And you might say, well, what do you mean by best? It's like, how about...
It's like what you mean by finger. It's like what's a thumb? It's like a thumb, a finger. It's not the same. That's my point. Tain't enough of him $5. I can see Peterson crying to free jazz or improv blues because he can't find any order in it. That's funny.
The country
He's just in the jazz club and he's just crying in the corner.
that the miserable and oppressed...
Like he's crying but sipping like a $40 dirty martini. He takes a bite of the olive, and just tears flood. It's like it's dissonant. It's like it never resolves. Feels like the West a lot. It's like nobody ever talks about the destruction of what jazz brought to society, you know? Everyone thinks it's just some peripheral sound, you know? It's like derivative of the blues. And it's like it's a lot more, bucko. It's like if you take classical music and everything that's downstream from a Christian worldview, that there's resolution on purpose, that there's some sort of order in the system. It's not about inverting or diverting or keeping the dissonance. It's about consonance. It's about wholeness. It's about holiness. And then they introduced jazz, you know? And you know what I mean by they. And they sold jazz and dissonance. And they said, look, this is cool. It's like Picasso, but for music. It's like, who the hell thought it was a good idea in art to take the eyeball and put it on the elbow? It's like, that is not what it is. It's dysfunction. It's a rearrangement and a denial of universals. That's what jazz is. It's like, look, don't try to sell me on 2% order. That's not a product I'm going to buy. Mumble $5. Your Ben Shapiro is too good. I'm starting to suspect you're half bagel. Bagel. Johnny Lane, $10. The grift that keeps on grifting. Keep up the good work, dude. We need Jim Bob Andrew Wilson debate versus whoever can keep up. Yeah, that would be the two of us in that room. It might be too much for the internet. Ben, $5. JP was told women like emotional men, and he's affair maxing. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Well, I mean, there are certain women who look at this and be like, I can fix him. I want to breastfeed him. You know what I mean? They're like, I can breastfeed him. It's like I'm down for it, you know? It's like if I'm running low on milk. It's like, how is this bowl of Fruity Pebbles going to fill itself with milk?
Flee to
Bring the tatas.
voluntarily. How's that a definition for best? And if you think that those countries existed independent of their Judeo-Christian foundation, you don't know anything. You don't know anything, and you're a danger. So,
Can you say that all again? I missed that. So there. It's like, Piers Morgan, you've got nothing to say. It's like, F you! It's like, where's your tears, Piers? Everybody deserves to hear. We want to see. Screw Piers Morgan. We want to see Tears Morgan. Why am I only one crying? Where am I? How did I get here?
yeah.
It would be funny if he had a skydiving backpack and he just jumped out of the fake window behind him. He was like, I'm done.
So that's what I've been touring around saying,
Jordan,
So that's what I've been touring around saying. Just like that, dude?
for like 8 years.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I wanted to end by mentioning two things, which really, in a way, you've kind of talked about without actually specifying them.
What you said without actually saying anything.
One is your tour, where you've been doing a lot of this
That's funny, hoodly daddle. You cocksucker.
very emotive talking, very heart-rending
Nice performance.
talking. The tour comes to Europe in
What is his accent, by the way? I mean, not that I can do any British accent. Listen to me. Oh, what particular accent is that British accent? You know, I'm going through my Rolodex of accents. I don't have a British accent. I can't even do it. I don't even understand it. I did come up with a trick, though. If you stick your teeth out, you get better at it. What? What's he on about? What's he bubbling about? Works every time somehow.
May and the UK June 12th to the 19th. And you've also had the Peterson
Yes.
Academy, which goes
The Peterson Academy? What? I didn't hear about
from
this.
strength to strength. But both of these things, it seems to me, if you are a young man confused about life,
Or if you're a 60-year-old man confused about life. Is that where Peterson's at? It would blow my mind. Imagine Peterson's like 42. That would be hilarious. 34 of the 50 goal. Thank you so much. Now's a good time to help reach the goals. Feel like the impressions and all the goods. Feel free to make it count.
and your purpose and what it means to be a man and your masculinity. And
What
you
does
are
it mean
being
to be a man?
bombarded with all this negativity
what does it
all
mean?
the time. And you're watching adolescence and
I have a question for you. Do you cry in your sleep? Absolutely.
thinking, is that how everybody views young men?
Contracts.
They could do a lot worse. In
Yeah,
fact, I would
totally.
urge them to go and watch
Let's talk about the contracts. Your contract's up. Time to renew it.
your show and to sign up to your academy. Because at the
Dude, I want to know what this academy is. I'm going to sign up.
very least,
Wouldn't it be fun if I signed up to the academy and I just, like, only on Wednesdays, whatever this academy is, like, we just, like, took the piss out of the process. Would be fun. Just take you guys on the academy tour.
what they would
It's like my pillow's soaked.
be getting
What's up, Provo?
is a more
Our resident Mormon.
positive
Poor guy.
expression of what it means to be a man.
Well, I've just expressed to you what it means to be a man. Did you not see what I just did?
And a guideline to how you don't have to get sucked in to all the negativity and you don't have to go down these paths. You can make a different choice. But a lot of them, Jordan, as you know from talking to them, they feel like they don't have anyone they can talk to. But actually, in a way, because of the medium of live shows.
I disagree. I don't think it's about talking to people, Pierce or Jordan. I think it's more like they don't have enough men making fun of them. That's what it is. There's not enough hazing. There's all this processing. Oh, no, we got to process the men. But what about the men? I mean, the women have all these people to talk to, and the men have no one to talk to. We don't want to talk to you. I don't even want to talk to people I like. Notice how when you meet, like your wife meets someone, oh, I met Sally. She's really nice. She's Orthodox too. Isn't that great? Her husband's right there. So? Big deal. It's a husband. Yeah, don't you want to talk to him? Don't you want someone to talk to? No. Why? Yeah, but we're talking. The wives are talking. Why don't you? You guys can do it. We're doing it. You guys can do it. This whole thing is broken. The whole context of this conversation is totally broken. They're trying to figure out how to funnel men who obviously have problems with their emotions, Jordan Peterson, and how to we're trying to process men as if the ordinary man is in the mental and emotional state of this guy. I mean, how delusional have to you? No, that's not the case, dude. Most men in the West are still just like these ordinary dudes. Like, oh, I got a job. Yeah, I hope I get a girlfriend. I hope I get a wife. That would be cool. Maybe make a lot of money. Maybe not. I don't know. Buy some guns. Do something. They're all like, what do we do? What do we do about the men? We've got to do something about the men. Maybe they sign up for your Cry Academy. Now I'm interested. I want to know what he's selling on this academy here.
Shows of YouTube in particular where you're extremely dominant of.
Men need hard work. Yeah, I agree. They need to be put to work. They need to be utilized. There's nothing more empty for a man to have a skill, a passion, or something, like a gift, let's say, and it being misplaced or not placed at all. That's all. We want someone to point at us. If we're not the pointer, some men are the pointers. You do this. But most of the men are people who have what they have, and they want to be placed in the system to do the thing, to live out their duties and responsibility. They just want to be placed in the position. They almost want to be told what to do in a sense, which a lot of people misrepresent as not being a man. No, it's completely consistent with being a man. You know? They're thinking from the emotional, psychological perspective. And it makes sense because Jordan Peterson doesn't work, doesn't do anything with his hands. Nothing. There's no labor. Even if you don't do labor, for instance, I'm no longer building houses. I want to get back to metalsmithing, but even around the house, there's something I'm going to do. I built a deck 2 years ago, just straight up built the deck. Changing this, changing that, changing the door, whatever it is. Men should be put to work. They shouldn't be sitting around crying on national television.
Obviously, and through the academy, they actually can, because they can do it through you. They can do it through the prism of Jordan Peterson. You are there.
Well, the Peterson
He does jazz hands.
Academy is a good.
The Peterson Academy? I didn't even know this existed, you guys.
The Peterson Academy.
37 of 50. Let's get those super chats up. Let's reach the goal. 50. Small. I wish the goals were bigger. Where's YouTube's 200 super chat goal? Where the hell is it? Dorde Jeremik. Did I pronounce that right? 250 RSDs. Thank you so much. He is removing God from Christianity and tells people to follow values and duties of Christianity. Liberal, cherry pick what he thinks is the good. That's right. And he has no excuse, Dorde. He has no excuse. Dorde's probably an ice cutter. He probably cuts ice for a living. You're right. He keeps borrowing from it and then he leaves it out. He leaves the truth as a being out. He mentions Christ, but he goes back to these other things. There's no like theosis in the conversation. There's no direction toward what is the practice of Christianity, not the practice of your life using Christianity. This is the distinction that's massive. Christianity is a life. Christianity isn't a tool for your life. Jordan Peterson knows this. He hangs out with Jonathan Pajou. There's no possible way Jonathan Pajou hasn't had this conversation with him, either in public or private or both. He just continues to deny it. He just continues to sort of twist it to some sort of self-help thing. It's really annoying, honestly. Frankensteck, $10. Your impression of JP makes me realize that a lot of the things that he says may sound deep at first, but are just overly filled with emotion. It's stoner revelation. Yeah, it is. It's just a bunch of shit. It's like it's almost true. It's like a part true. It forces the listener to sift out the true parts. And because it's so long and emotional, you think the whole thing's true. And you're like, no, it was only like 2%. That was on you. You did that, not him. Sean Nair, $10. Thank you so much. I'll have you know I'm a graduate of Peterson Academy, and now I too can cry on command. I'm going to check it out. It's probably like $8,000. I'm going to look at it right after this, by the way. Provo, $5. I've made my bed every day since I graduated from Peterson Academy. Recommended 10 out of 10. Soulless Fool, $5 says nothing. I want to do it. I just want to see. I want to see what he's talking about. Because he started the self-help, Write Your Own Life Academy. Self-authoring, sweet. I mean, that's great. I love you guys. I love Peterson under the wing of the Daily Wire. And even though he says things that are adjacent to Christianity, I'm so happy that he's not pushing people to Christ explicitly. Like, how about we do this, Jordan Peterson? You can have your little Christ following, okay? You can have it. I mean, I'm giving it to you. I mean, I'm including in the contract with the Daily Wire. Here's the thing. Why can't you just sort of construct some sort of product that's adjacent, that uses Christian tenets and distinctions, but it's actually a service instead? So sort of like take the language and then apply it to your own self-help need, product, and sell that product. That would sound like a good deal? Well, here's the thing. You don't have a choice anyway. I own you. I own you, lobster boy. Lobster boy, lobster boy, lobster boy, lobster boy, lobster boy, lobster boy. You're mine. Peterson voice. It's like, what do you mean, believe? I live as though God exists. Yes. It's like a technology. It's like that's what it is. Dorde. We put churches in the center of the towns because we knew the value of sacrifice. Remove God and faith again, but you should follow Christian Judea values. Yeah, it's kind of, he's on the right side of things, but essentially takes the same position as Richard Dawkins. Remember he came out and got attacked, but he was like, I like cultural Christianity. Yeah. I like hot cocoa, and I like slabs of stone and great big cathedrals. I want the cathedrals. I evolved to enjoy the cultural aspect, the aesthetics. I want the cathedrals in the town squares. I just don't want people inside of them.
Academy is a good example of that, not least because it has a very effective social media element, and we have 40,000 students and about 15,000 active users of the social media site, and it's very positive. Like, people are exchanging their visions of the future and their plans.
Their visions of the future is so bagely. It's like people are sharing their Tikkun Olam visions of saving and fixing society.
For development, and like we had to
Same position as Pine Creek? Yeah. Yeah.
We monitor it very carefully, Pearson. We had to toss about 10 people out of 15,000 off because 10 people misbehaving was enough to tilt the whole thing in a pathological direction. Very interesting thing to watch.
I want to know about that. What? Wait a second. Did he just say his Peterson Academy out of 15,000 people had 10 people who were misbehaving? What does that mean? I want to know what that means. I want to know what happened there. That's interesting to me. Who are these 15 people?
But if
Stop misbehaving.
people are looking for a community,
Maybe misbehaving was a bunch of people going, hey, why don't we, this isn't the church, dude. This is what it is. If you organize this sort of sub-community, if you attempt to replace the church, it's going to fall apart. I'm not saying that every sub-community, like every Discord, you know, we have Discords and stuff, and you guys in the chat are a part of a community online, so to speak. But when it attempts to give you the teleology, the purpose, for instance, my channel and my chat can never give you the teleology. That's Christianity. When those questions come up, you go to the church. But Peterson here has this knack of counterfeiting the church and guiding men not to the church, not to a specific church, which he's well aware of, Peterson. You're well aware of it. You've attended. You have really close friends. You had an iconography jacket made. You understand, okay? Stop playing dumb. But then he says, well, we're going to start something else that's not the church, but attempts to replace the church and all of its values and all of its teleology and all of its activities. It's called the Peterson Academy. Substituting the inclination of community that is found in the church as the body and giving you a counterfeit synthesis body called the Peterson Academy, you know? It's the Church of Tears. The Church of Tears.
they can definitely find it there. And it's a community that's aiming upward and not in a naive manner. You know, like, it's easy to think of morality as never doing anything wrong. But that's you want to aim to not err, you know, fair enough. But the other side of it that's never amplified, let's say particularly by the conservatives who are, you know, concerned about morality, is that there isn't a greater adventure than...
Peterson can't ostracize a secular audience. Toilet Bowl Earth, that's why I think he cries, honestly. Now, maybe some other things go on in his head, but that nails it right there. I think he's stuck in almost the, you know, not to, here, I need to play my own violin music. Here I go again. Here I go. I think Jordan Peterson knows he's trapped in some sort of path here, contractually or whatever. And he knows what he's doing. He knows that he's stuck with the secular audience, these libertarians, these centrists who like parts of Christianity, but they don't want any obligation. They like parts of Christianity, but they don't consider that sin is a thing. They want to do their things, live their life, and just use some of it. And so Peterson comes along and offers the Swiss Army knife of fake Christianity as a tool. And I think you're dead on. I think he says to himself, well, fuck. It's like 68% of my base are just secular centrists. It's like I'm helping them in the way that they can be helped. It's like it's not on me to guide them to the truth, even if I know the truth. I think that's why he's such a mess, dude. Because the cognitive dissonance of knowing and not guiding, the reason he talks about shepherds all the time and he starts crying, why is that, Jordan Peterson? Because you're a shepherd in a sense, and the question is, are you guiding people to something specific and narrow, or are you guiding them to some self-help operation at the Daily Wire? Well, we know the answer. You prick. You little slobbering little fool. Unbelievable.
truth and responsibility. And I don't mean...
We got 818 in the chat. I can't have that many haters. Close the chat, like the stream, please. Close the chat, like the stream. I'll play the whole L's in the chat, okay? I won't even say another word. L's in the chat for the amount of likes we have right now. Here's some social shaming for you. L's in the chat. L's in the chat. L's in the chat. Like the stream. Come on. It's easy. I mean, if you're here and you like the stream, then like the stream. Seems pretty obvious.
No f***ing duh.
I mean that in a trivial manner. It's like with the truth, for example. Why is the truth an adventure?
No, the truth is a person, you slime ball. You beet red lunatic. It's like, why is the truth an adventure? You want to fight me? Huh, Peterson? Do I need to raise money to fight you physically? Unbelievable. Why is the truth an adventure? So gay, dude.
Because if you're going to say what you believe to be true, you have to sacrifice the outcome, right? You can't use your words instrumentally in a manipulative way. You have to say what you think is the case.
Oh my gosh. The irony of this guy saying this right now is just whacked. It's so wild.
And then you have to let the cards fall wherever the hell they're going to. And that can be a real mess, but it's unbelievably exciting because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, and we know in the West, at least we knew that the truth is what sets you free and that the world of proper order is founded on the truth. And
no, dude, why are you talking around what you know? You little he's like a greasy lobster. He's like a lobster that got dipped in butter, and he's fully cooked, but he's still moving. Definitely fully cooked lobster here. He keeps talking exactly around what he means, right? What he knows to be the truth. He already knows the validity and the coherence and the necessity of truth being God. Truth being the being, the Logos incarnate. Jesus Christ, Peterson, you know this. And now he's talking around it. Well, you got to live the truth. And once you say the truth, you got to align yourself with the truth. And it's like, if it doesn't happen... He's talking to himself, dude. At this point, any interview Jordan Peterson does, he's not talking to Piers Morgan. He's not talking to you. He's talking to himself. He's giving himself coaching.
There's terrible risk in that, as everyone who's tried to tell the truth under difficult circumstance comes to understand. But the payoff is that your life is so exciting if you...
That's it? That's the payoff to following the truth, Peterson? It's exciting? Such a female take. It's just going to risk it all. Eat, pray, love. You know what I did? I just followed my truth and I bought a ticket to Morocco. Like, yeah, ladies. It's about excitement. It's about being Twitter-pated. It's about tickling your feelers. It's about getting tickled on your back legs. You know, if you're a lobster, all the attention goes to your pinchers. And it's like all your back legs get left out, but it's very unknown to most people that the most ticklish spot on a lobster is those thin back legs.
You only say what you believe to be true, that it becomes virtually unbearable. You know, and you need...
You're virtually unbearable, dude. I seriously want to give you a jolt right through that window, bro. Just want to hear Peterson's voice slightly fading as it hits the ground. Is that too dark? Whoa, fuck. Why'd you do that? Jason Cassell, $9.99. Thank you so much. Oh, we reached the goal. Win in the chat. Thank you, chat. That's winning. Ty B, 50 big buckaroos. Thank you so much, Ty B, 43. W's in the chat for Jim Bob. Excellent work on whatever. Thank you. Great balance between humor and debate. The universe has gone full circle. I found whatever from watching Ben Shapiro. Really? That's crazy. Then found Andrew, then found you, and then you go on whatever as Ben Shapiro. That's funny, dude. I'm glad I got to put that in the end. I think that's the importance of chats, because I don't know if any of those conversations, if it's only going to be those types of chicks, is ever going to prompt a Ben Shapiro opportunity. So it also is awkward because if the panelists don't know who I'm impersonating, I don't get a laugh from the panel. So it's silence for me. It's really bizarre. And I can't see the chat, so I don't know who's laughing. So I'm just alone. Jason Cassell for the goal. Thank you, Jason Cassell, so much for your support. What is he on about?
That too, because you need an unbearable meaning to give you strength and commitment when you're suffering deeply. And many young people are suffering deeply. They don't know where to turn. And you turn towards the truth, and you turn towards responsibility. Like, why wouldn't you want that, to have someone you could care for deeply, your wife, and to be able to make sacrifices on behalf of your children and your grandchildren? All that does is extend your... your view way out into the future. In the story of Abraham, God comes to Abraham as the voice of adventure. And he says to Abraham that he has to leave his zone of infantile comfort and move into the terrible world. And he makes him a deal. He says, if you do that, this is the covenant of Abraham. This is the covenant that our civilization is founded on. If you follow the pathway of maximal adventure, here's what happens.
So he kind of tries to tie it in, but he doesn't. He doesn't really get specific at all.
You become a blessing to yourself.
It's a symbol. It's a symbol. He's stuck in That's why he should get away from Jonathan Pageau, honestly. As much as I like Jonathan Pageau's work, his art, his iconography, his talks and such, they're packed full of great info and all that, but he is so focused on symbology that his friend here, Jordan Peterson, is suffering because of it. There's no actuality to the Christian life from Jordan Peterson's view. It's all symbol. Even when he references these things. Even when he references Christ, it's still the best avatar for the game. Well, bloody hell, if you think you're playing a game about life and death, you want to choose the best avatar for the game. And it's like, we've got it. It's like, it's not Christopher Reeves. It's not Buster Keaton, It's like Christ is the manifestation of the highest potentiality, the mode of being that supersedes the limited constraints of the human condition. It's like, dude, did you go to church? No! I've spoke at quite a few churches about this stuff. No, have you gone to church? Well, one time. Didn't you see my iconography jacket? It's beautiful. Maximal Adventure. The Maximal Adventure Land. It's like every man yearns for a trip to Wally's World, with the potential loss, the potential fear that it's closed. There's always that fear and there's always that potential. And without the potential of Wally's World being closed and the sacrifice of driving cross country, it's like if it's open, it's a little bit easier to sacrifice. And that's what life is, bucko. Lumbago, $5. Thanks, Jordan, for sharing your psycho thoughts on our father Abraham. Yeah, he's the best, isn't he? Yeah, he's about. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thanks, Jordan, for sharing your psycho thoughts on our father Abraham. He's the best, isn't he? Judeo-Christian. Judeo. You know what the left loves to do? They love to use modifiers. You know, they use things like social justice or trans rights. And it's like, this is not something that's compatible with Judeo-Christian values. Whoops, I did it. Whoops, I did it myself. Whoopsie. Montana Moser, $2. Many years for my birthday. Keep it up. Happy birthday, Montana Moser. Many years to you. Yes.
Your name becomes known validly among your people. You establish something of permanence. You do that in a way that brings nothing but abundance to everyone, and no one can stand in your way.
Wow, cool speech, dude. What are you writing for Mattel? What did you write for the new animated Barbie series or something? He sounds like he's talking to a bunch of chicks, dude. And remember, nothing stands in your way of living out your dreams. You could become a princess.
And that's what I'm trying to tell young people, is that if you follow the proper pathway upward, then your life becomes so rich that even the suffering justifies itself. And they understand that, Pierce. They understand that, and they put it into action, and they straighten out their life.
It's all pragmatism. What he means by rich is it's like it works, is workability. Jordan Peterson sells all the secularists on workability, and they're like, oh, that's a good heuristic. I mean, it's Christian, so I don't ultimately agree with it, but I love what he has to offer to my bedroom, and my apartment has never been the same since. There's just a bunch of gay dudes. Bunch of libertarians. It's like he's the pragmatic apostle or something.
Lives. And, my sense
really needs a damn wedgie, honestly.
Is I started doing this because I was concerned, about the culture war. I was concerned about the manner in which totalitarianism emerges. But my discovery, I suppose, or presumption was that you fundamentally address
Jordan platitudinalism.
That one soul.
It's like I started my fifth company is basically selling a shit ton of bumper stickers, because sayings and platitudes go a long way, let me tell you. No Drapez. Never seen a name like that. $10, thank you so much. Pierce just nods and nods as if he actually able to follow anything he's saying. Yeah, he's basically saying like this might be a mistake, might be a gold mine. He's trying to weigh it out. He's like, is this gonna be amazing? Is this the viewers? He's thinking this. This is certainly going to get the viewers, but not for the reason I thought. That's what he's thinking.
At a time. It's not a political issue. And everybody kind of knows that the culture war is much deeper than the mere political.
Yes. Talk about the culture wars. That's the way to do it. Keep them stuck in the dialectic of the culture wars. Don't examine what informs the culture. That is a deal, Peterson. You signed it with your own pinky blood. Right here in the contract, when you signed on the Daily Wire, you would say, you would talk about the culture wars, you would keep the dialectic left and right. You would keep it classical liberalism, liberty, and these crazy leftards, okay? That was the agreement. You all saw it. We videotaped it. You did the whole thing. The whole ritual was there, okay? Remember? I cut a hole through the sheets, you stuck your hand through the sheets, you shook my hand. That is a true Masonic way, okay? That is what happened. Now, if you ever point to Jesus Christ as the being who's informing your culture wars, you're done here. And I don't mean just at the Daily Wire. I have a lot of powerful people that I am connected to. Okay? And it's not Assad, but it rhymes with Assad.
We're trying to do with ARC, too, with the Alliance for Responsible Citizenship. It's not a political movement.
David Atlas, $5. My religious buffet sports jacket cost a bloody fortune, right? Yeah. I don't even know how much this cost. I have people buying me things. It's like I'm a whole machine at this point. New.
It's a movement. It's a movement designed to foster individual fortitude and purpose, and that has to be put in place before the political can even operate, before the liberal dream, let's
What would you say if I told you I was mentally retarded?
say, can make itself manifest? There's no free societies without trust, and there's no trust without responsible citizens. And that's the best way to act. And it's also the way, man, it makes you more confident. It makes you more trustworthy. It makes you a better partner. It makes you far more attractive to women, at least women with any sense. You know, they can be demented by their attraction.
You want to see confidence?
মাথার মধ্যে নেইমার কাটিং তারপরে মেসি কাটিং দিয়া ঘুরা বেড়ায় এরকম যুবক আছে না নাই সিধা প্যান পরে যেই প্যান আমার ঘরে প্যান দিব সাথে টাকাও দিব
That's confidence. Any women in the chat getting worked up a little bit from that?
Attraction to idiots.
You know, I mean, confidence is something that's probably attractive. I agree, but I mean, you can have confidence and still have it push people away. I mean, let's say you're so confident that you love to smile so much. Does it follow that women are going to be attracted just because you're so confident that you smile? What do you think, Jessica Bowman? I mean, I'm just saying I can find exceptions.
Psychopaths, and you know that because psychopaths are very good at gaming female confidence, but in the final analysis, women are looking for a stalwart shepherd, and that's been true forever. And I'm trying to remind young men to be that, and young women to.
Look at that freeze frame. Holy moly. What an absolute lunatic. Look at his, he's just losing his shit. Look at the contrast of Piers Morgan and Jordan Peterson right now. That really should be the thumbnail, honestly. Whew. Whew. Clay Manning comes in with his autistic chat. Jim Bob, he's not saying it's the only thing that matters, but it can help. Wow, thanks for that clarification, Clay. I don't know what I would do without you. Jason McGinney, $5, sobbing. It makes you far more attractive to women. Yeah, I'm sure all of the Piers Morgan females, you know, over there watching, you know, Jordan Peterson are just like, I want to, you know what, I'm getting on Tinder right now. I have never felt so, I'm flowing. I am just, some switch got turned on.
To notice. And so
you really think, what's his wife's name? Tammy? You think Tammy's on the sidelines there, ready with like a hot tea, a hot lemon water for Peterson here, and she's like, let's go to the bathroom? No. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I mean, wouldn't Jordan Peterson have to say he, following his own rules, is attractive?
And why does that make me emotional? Well, because I've seen the breadth of
his tears are for the dry cooters.
Suffering and the consequence of its rectification.
It's like the other night, I was having a nice dinner with my wife, and it was a nice Malbec and some raw steak I was eating with my hands. You know, and I got into it with her, and I wanted to express my gratitude. And I started crying and weeping with love and joy, you know. And I remember after I was done, after 16 minutes of an emotional diatribe, I looked at my wife and I said, "What do you think?" And I remember specifically the words she said. She said, "Well, now I know what it's like to be in the desert for a couple days."
You know, and there's a sense of desperation about it, I suppose, too.
Needless to say, we didn't head to the bedroom after that. Lumbago 499. Oh my, he just keeps going. Put him in a padded room. Seriously, this is like a trick. This is like a practical joke. $10 from Noj. There's a guy I work with that I'm 80% sure is half a tard, and he's easier to listen to than JP. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you know.
Because there's so many people that are...
Long live liberty. What a surprise. After what I just said about Jordan Peterson, is it a surprise that a person named Long Live Liberty says stop hating on Jordan? Come on. No, dude, this guy is misguiding people. Okay? You know what's worse is he knows the truth. That's what makes it worse for Jordan Peterson. He's not just naively misguiding. He knows the path. He knows the door. He knows the locations. He knows the practice. He knows the tradition. He knows church history, at least to some extent. And yet here he is surfing around on Christian principles and never pointing to the thing he's on. Pointing to the waves. You know what I mean? No. He needs to be ridiculed, made fun of, countered, examined, exposed. Okay? T King, $5. Never take bagel money, boys and girls. He was a loony, and now he is a comic book villain level of insane. Ben must be loving. Yeah, he loves it. Like, what if we could push out the most well-known proponent of Christianity, of Judeo-Christianity, is Jordan Peterson? I mean, we have accomplished so much here. Are you kidding me? I mean, think about that. If you wanted to subvert, maybe subdue Christianity, knowing that maybe a Christian ethical system doesn't prioritize liberty above all, if you thought that, if your task was to subdue it, you know, subvert it, change it, soften it, I mean, I can't think of a better character to represent Christianity to the masses if your task was to do that than Jordan Peterson. I mean, the only other person I can think of is Nathan Rager, but apparently Ben Shapiro doesn't know who he is. So, I mean, if Ben Shapiro really wanted to win the war against, Christianity in the West, he would tap Nathan Rager. Imagine Nathan Rager. For those of you who don't know, Nathan Rager is this hilarious, overweight, handlebar mustache, rapture evangelical, maybe. And boy, if you're confused about the reality, whether or not these people are characters that are written or they're authentically themselves, Nathan Rager is someone to look up. Holy moly. Get financially crop dusted. Thank you so much, Joshua. Yeah, financially crop dust me. Folks, now's your chance to financially crop dust me. Frankensteck, $10. My wife is so dry that I'm reminded of Christ in the desert for 40 days. Oh no, that's Jordan Peterson. Yes. It's like she's so not having it that every time she walks away from me in the bedroom, sometimes she crawls. I'm reminded of Christ in the desert for 40 days, you know? It's like, I don't understand it. I get on these shows and I weep. I pour my heart out from my eyeballs, you know? And then when I meet my wife for lunch, and I'm just surprised every time she doesn't say, that was hot. Yes, you like that? Was that hot? You like when I cry, don't you? You like that, don't you? Was that hot? Was that Was that Piers Morgan interview as hot for you as it was for me? Jessica Bowman, $4. If my husband acted this way, I would call a priest for real. Imagine a crying shepherd. Can you imagine a shepherd who's just crying and getting the sheep into the pasture, just weeping? $10 from Noho. I wonder if a lecture with Jordan Peterson, the audience is trying to decide if he's about to crap his pants or have a heart attack on stage. I think they're into it, dude. I think they're lost in the novelty of it, honestly. You know? You're like trapped in the room, and then you're sort of elevated emotionally, and your passions are elevated, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. You've helped me so much. You helped me so much. Look up Jordan dancing with his wife. I swear it's so related. I know, Derek. I know exactly what you're talking about. I reviewed it like 2 years ago or something. I was like, this makes so much sense at this point. Look. Being masculine is not about pure strength. It happens to be the case that I lost an arm wrestling match to my wife with both arms.
Suffering. You know what
I prefer thumb wrestling.
I suppose in his own way, demented way, Keir Starmer recognizes that to some degree. And
JBP is slam poetry for pseudo-intellectuals. That is so good, Philip. That really nails it. For white people, too. White intellectuals. That is it. That's totally it. He's a social justice warrior, if you think about it. He's anti-social justice warrior in the classical sense that we know culturally, where a social justice warrior looks a certain way. They have certain talking points. They're left-leaning and all this stuff. But if you think about it, he's a social justice warrior on the other side. He's a male feminist. Or whatever you call it, a Menonist. A Memonist? Jimmy Mint gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Jimmy.
That's why he's stumbling so foolishly towards this television series. But all of his presuppositions are wrong and shallow.
Wait.
And
he's
he's justification.
Wait.
The way, man, it makes you more confident. It makes you more trustworthy.
I missed it.
It makes you a better partner. It makes you far more attractive to women. At least women with any sense. You know, they can be demented by their attraction to idiot psychopaths. And, you know, that because psychopaths are very good at gaming female confidence. But in the final analysis, women are looking for a stalwart shepherd. And that's been true forever. And I'm trying to remind young
women are looking for the priest of the home. That's where, you know, if you want to call that a shepherd, fine. But there's a reason he doesn't say priest of the home and he says shepherd, because shepherd can appeal to the secularist too.
Man, and young men to be that.
Is he detoxing from benzos? Yeah.
Young women to notice.
I mean, it's a mess.
And so,
can you imagine trying to take this guy's order at a fancy restaurant?
And why does that make me emotional? Well, because I've seen the breadth of suffering and the consequence of its rectification. You know, and there's a sense of desperation about it, I suppose, too, because there's so many people that are suffering. You know, and I suppose in his own way, demented way, Keir Starmer recognized.
Oh, Keir Starmer. I actually don't know who that is. Can someone tune me in? What? He wants to make a movie? Wait, I don't even... I must be boomer level at this point. I don't even understand some of these references. Keir Starmer? Can someone in the chat educate your dumbass entertainer here? Justin Henley, $5. Us black intellectuals prefer Thomas Sowell and Kanye West. That's true. Thomas Sowell is still somehow alive. I think they wheeled him out recently.
This is that to some degree, and that's why he...
Oh, he's the UK Prime Minister? See, I'm totally... You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about, like, what to animate next, or, like, you know, How can I better use my impressions?
He's
That's why I
stumbling
don't do politics. I don't do political debates for this. I'm ignorant.
so foolishly towards this television series, but all of his presuppositions.
Television series? That sounds awesome. I think that's the best way to get people to know your politicians. I think they should all have television series. You know, even though you know it's produced, at least you get to like see some interaction. Derek Waters says, I've only been watching for around a year. Sorry for spam. I sent my first ever super chat to you on my birthday. Happy birthday. I got 4 kids. God bless you. Didn't know how badly I needed JP singing happy birthday. Did I sing that to you? I do cameo. I used to do animated cameos too. I got to bring those back out because people love them. Yeah, I animated Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, and you can pay for the animated cameo and send it to any of your loved ones. But happy birthday, belated birthday. It's like happy birthday to you. It's like happy birthday. President Sundowner, $5. He's a Star Wars character.
Are wrong and shallow, and he's part of the problem.
Long live liberty, even in the face of me making fun of his daddy. Gives 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Long live liberty. Appreciate that.
And not part of the solution. You know, the education system has been dominated by progressives for 4 generations, right? And it's produced a culture of infantile dependency and anti-masculinity. And that's been terrible for...
Star of Netflix Adolescence looks like Alex O'Connor. Oh, yeah, you're right about that.
Young men, but equally terrible for young women.
I didn't see that yet. Is that worth seeing? Is that a right-leaning thing or left-leaning? It's getting all this talk, so I'm still unsure of what it is.
More of the same is not going to fix that.
You know. That's awesome. I'm sending Tucker to my dad. Yeah. I think it's still up. Meg Bob, our cameo's still up on the website. I should bring those back out because I'm going to get a bunch of new follows who don't even know all of the fun things that I do here. Turd Ferguson, $5. I saw my dad cry twice in 36 years before he died. When his brother and sister died, I think a lot of people can relate. Fathers should not cry. Yeah, you shouldn't really. Seen my dad weep a couple times from happiness. Like when he found out I was going back to church, that made him weep in gratitude, but not slobbering. You know, it's like, you know, you lose your breath and stuff. Like a man crying is basically like, you can't talk a little bit.
No, and you say, well, where do we turn for a better model? Well, I outlined a better model. That's a better model, obviously. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Check, please. Pierce is all, check, please. We don't need more wine. Nope. Check, please. That's fine. Nope. Cancel the egg. Scotch egg. It's fine.
Got 3 sons, Jordan, who, as you know, are all massive fans of yours.
Oh, no. Pierce. He just totally threw his sons under the bus, bro. Pierce, why did you do that? Now we know Pierce Morgan's sons are just tucking and taping. Look, Jordan Peterson's like not even happy about that. He has this level of guilt when people acknowledge him. They're like, I'm following you and I did all this thing. He's like, fuck. It's like, that's not actually great news.
A parent would much rather they take guidance from you than Andrew Tate. And that's the bottom line.
You think that's the dichotomy, Pierce? What is this weird dichotomy? Well, it's either you or Andrew Tate. Seems to be the only options, eh? What the hell is this? What kind of low-tier shit is this? that segment. And I was actually surprised, and kind of offended that they didn't include Tucker Carlson in that name. Why is it an either or? I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking, if you were to follow someone, and it wasn't the church, there's a number of other people you could have included, including me. Didn't include me. I'm not going to get personal.
And
I'm just going to tell my demon to haunt you in your dreams.
Two choices.
See it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
Yeah. Did he just affirm two choices? Wait. Did I just...
Well, I've got 3 sons, Jordan, who, as you know, are all massive fans of yours. I as a parent, would much rather they take guidance from you than Andrew Tate. And that's the bottom line. And
those are the two choices.
What do you mean those are the two choices? What are you talking about, dude? Those are the two choices. What does that mean?
See it for what it is.
Well, those are the two choices. Fortunately, when your sons are thinking about following other men, it seems to be the case that there are just two choices, and it's me or Andrew Tate. You know? I actually disagree. Like, Andrew Tate's douchey, what is he, Muslim? It's a double douchery there. As far as, like, being in action, I don't know, man. That's like two types of different disasters. That's like, you want to be in a plane crash or a train wreck? Which one? You know? Let's say I was going to follow someone just on, you know, being in action, you know, whatever. Being some, almost like an absurd, embarrassing exaggeration of a man. I might even lean toward Andrew Tate, honestly. Like, here, look at it this way. If you were presenting yourself in front of 100 strong men, who would you model your behavior? Andrew Tate or this guy? Definitely not this guy. Bad. Those are bad choices. That's like asking, like, would you rather have rotten sushi or rotten chicken wings?
It is.
Robert Torres, $5 says that Ben Shapiro impersonation comes real close to Heath Ledger Joker. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, it's a privilege to be of service, Pierce. Seriously. Like, it's so rewarding that it's...
Oh, my gosh, dude. Someone smack this guy.
Stop whining.
This is horribly embarrassing.
Almost incomprehensible. It's why my wife and I keep touring, you know, and she's got very good at this too, and has taken these things very seriously.
Need some testosterone here. Oh, goodness. Oh my gosh.
And it's really transformed her life, especially after she just about died a couple of years ago, and she's put herself together so remarkably and has learned these things deeply and is trying to provide what salutary service to young women. And we'll see how that goes. They're a hard market to reach, a hard audience to reach. But that doesn't mean it's impossible.
Is this guy like so compromised? Is this like gun to the head level compromise, or is he truly this mentally broken? Like, this isn't normal. We're talking about, like, restoring masculinity in theory and praxis for men in the West, right? Seems to be the going trend here. And then because of that, the trend is, well, Christianity versus secularism, Christianity versus this, Islam, whatever. I just don't understand how we got to this point where this is seen as, like, something that's, like, you would have on TV. Can you imagine this fumbling, sobbing guy being on like Walter Cronkite or something? Like, you know, like some legitimized talk show. You know what I mean? Like, put him on, like, Johnny Carson even. This kind of instability, it wouldn't even be accepted if a woman was in this kind of emotional state in like 1950 or 60 even. It just wouldn't be accepted. It would be like, there's something wrong here. That show was weird. They would like cut the show. They would be like, we can't do this. We cannot air this. This is insane. What is happening? Men are crumbling. That's the thing. It's like young men are getting weak and crumbling in the face of obstacles, and we got to do something about. Just starts weeping. Angel Berber, $5. How is Peterson putting himself on such a pedestal? His own daughter was involved with Andrew Tate. Yeah, I think that's what it's really about. I'm going to win. Daddy's going to win. It's like you've taken my daughter on a lot of carnival rides, if you know what I mean. I'm taking her back. I'm going to win her back. It's me versus you, bucko. What does that say about him as a father or a man? It's just, he obviously took it really personal. Noj, $10. Bro saying it's me or Tate after having this long blubbery session on TV in front of the whole world is exactly why so many dudes, you know what I mean? Now my truther hat is on, right? What if Jordan Peterson is hired as sort of like this controlled op to prop up Tate, to prop up all these other characters? You know what I mean? Like, what better scenario than declaring this dichotomy, this dilemma of Tate or Peterson being the true dichotomy? He's sitting there, he's flubbering about, his tears are pouring from his face, he's crying the whole interview, telling men to follow him instead of Andrew Tate. I mean, I don't know a better advertisement for Islam or Andrew Tate at this point. I don't. Again. I'm not controlled opposition, I'm controlled proposition. It's different. They don't control what I do, they control what I say. It's a lesser evil. It's justified in you. Mike Def Leopard, what's up, Mike Def Leopard? Member for 28 months. You want to fight me, Andrew Tate? Yeah, exactly. Do you want to fight me? Peterson looks like he was in Hawaii with you. Either that or too much blood. I don't know, dude. He's in rough shape. They blackmail him? Yeah, but what? What did he do? To be in this position? What did he do? Sheesh. I'm controlled presupposition. All right, let's look at some other insanity, shall we? You guys are about to see something very startling here. Okay. So this is a page I found called First Fruits of Zionism. They got this troon up here pretending to be some sort of like apologetic for something, right? This is a religious organization. It's got almost 12,000 followers, reconciling disciples with God's prophetic promises to Israel. That's literally the name of this channel. And this is the talking head, okay? This is what we got here.
A people producing its fruits. The Greek word there is ethnos, and it can be translated as nation. So you stop there, you might say, well, he's talking about taking the identity of being the people of God away from the Jews and giving it to a different nation. But think about this question. So if the tenets of the vineyard are...
Yeah. Nothing to do with current Jews, by the way. That whole Zionism thing. there's this one clip though that I saw that he was talking about like denying male and female. Where is it? This person is such a hired subverter. I mean, we're at insane levels of whatever this is. It's like this weird combination of reality and entertainment where you don't even know what's contrived anymore. It's so weird. There's a specific, what is it called? Let me find it for you. He appeals to Scripture to try to deny the reality of okay, that's what it is. Okay. Deny the reality of universals like male and female. Watch what he does here. See, this guy's a sick man.
That old covenant, it's done. It's over. Right? Those distinctions between Jew and Gentile, they're gone.
It says that only about 1,000 times in every book of the New Testament. So to come to the opposite conclusion does make you sort of wonder, like, have you read it?
Yeah. And
oh, wow. Yeah, I've read it. 28. Wow. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither slave nor free. There is no male and female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus. But I want you to notice that male-female category. You probably will have noticed at some point that Tucker Carlson definitely believes that there is male and female. And if you read it,
have you read it?
Yeah. If you read the Bible, what you find out is the apostles definitely distinguished also between Jews and Gentiles.
That old covenant, it's done.
Yeah. If I actually don't recommend going to this account because you're going to get really enraged. You're going to get super enraged. But if you want to, it's called First Fruits of Zion. It's alarming at this point, the kind of projects these people put up. Like this kind of, like this mess of a person here. Trying to take this scripture from Galatians and try to argue that what is meant by the fact that life in Christ actually transcends all of these distinctions. It doesn't eliminate them. This is a sick person. That's a sick human being. They need help. And what's annoying about those people is that they gain traction. They keep sort of like, I guess it would be some sort of pseudo-dispensationalist view, pro-Zionist, and they try to argue. These are people who are, I wholly believe that they're hired guns, that they're given positions. They're like, oh, let's get an interesting person to be the face of the first fruits of Zion and try to maintain this false identity of Israel being a location from the Christian lens as opposed to the true Israel. Sick stuff, you guys. And it's unfortunate because you can't even really... You have to be skillful in the way you approach this. So not only is the knowledge important, which I don't have even sufficient knowledge to really get into that, but even if you did, you have to like go about it in some sort of crazy way where you can approach these topics. And these people don't debate. That's the other bad news. These are sick. They're really sick people. They get me upset. You know, it's like I'm close to crying. Blue Vegan, $2. Peterson's Jungian archetype analysis saved my life. I highly doubt that. I mean, there's no way you can even prove that, dude. I don't even believe that. You're still a vegan, so you're literally dying as we speak. So clearly he didn't save your life. You know. Bagel Jedi Tactics. John Veloquet, $5. I expected to hear a womanly voice from that guy. Instead, we got Napoleon Dynamite. Seriously. I can't even have this up on my... Dude, I can't even look at this dude. So bothersome. Really bothers me. Any opposition in the chat? any, because if there is, you can. If you guys don't follow me on Discord, you're not a part of the Discord, you like fruitful, sometimes hilarious, sometimes very contentious, but yet always interesting conversations, go over to the Made by Jim Bob Discord mods. You can put a valid link in the chat, and any of the rooms that you guys see open and see people in there, make yourself known. There's always a fun time at the Discord. So as far as opposition, I usually leave atheism and evolution or whatever, atheism/evolution, open for opposition. Hardly get them, though. Hardly get opposition. So any questions from the chat? We're at 25 of 50 of the second goal. Still 771 lovely people here. Thank you for being here. Please close the chat real quick. Hit the like button on my page. It helps me a ton to break into the algorithm. I hardly ask, but if you do like the stream, please physically like the stream with your thumbs. Doesn't make sense to not do it. Atheists don't come during Lent anymore? Yeah, I guess so. Jordanomics, yeah. I read that. Or at least I audio read it. This is such a great stream to listen to while working. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm better at you at guitar? Probably. I'm pretty focused on a specific kind of guitar playing. It's like some sort of Travis picking. I actually have a song, an old song that had been posted a while back that's not up. It's about white privilege. So I'm going to do that. I also added this, you guys. Did you notice this? I rigged my harmonica to be a part of my microphone. So now I can play. So I was inspired by that Zimmerman guy. You know, that guy with the nose. You know, if he can write songs, I can write songs. Settler vibes. It's funny. That's true. I like those vibes. He's unhinged, Crispy? Yeah. Jordan Peterson is... Now that you look back, he's always been unhinged. Favorite album with that harmonica? I'm assuming it's Bob Dylan. No, Bob Dylan is not even in my top favorite songwriters and players. Doc Watson is pretty much up at the top. Doc Watson's, all of his work. I didn't mind some of Phil Oak's songs, but now looking back, it's just liberal bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm like, no wonder he hung himself. It's a joke. $5. Doy Joel. Jim Bob discourse with a vegan Orthodox priest someday would be funny and informative. Yeah, there's vegan monks, Orthodox monks, but they're not vegan for the vegan reasons, though. So it's a totally different mindset than the vegans that we talk to, who are barely existing. That would be good, though, because we discussed the theology of veganism as a choice from an Orthodox perspective is interesting. And you hear, sometimes you hear it from vegans. They try to trap you and be like, well, they're a Christian vegan, so obviously it's good. You're like, no, that's not what it is. You know, one of my favorite songwriters, Harry Nilsson. One of the perhaps most underrated, less credited songwriters and performers ever. Harry Nielsen. Total degenerate, though. Another one, pipeline to death. Tatiana says asceticism is not veganism. Yeah, that's the distinction, isn't it? Right there. You live an ascetic life. It's not a vegan. It's not like I'm being vegan. Jim Bob, ordered me a pizza, bro. I want pizza right now. I'm so hungry. Look at this. Look at this sad banana. Look at this. Would you look at this? Gosh. Nielsen Schmielsen. Yeah, good album. Johnny Lang is embarrassment. Johnny Lang's an embarrassment. Am I the guy to confront him on all the scripture? No. But he needs to be. That's why Jay Dyer, that's why with a little nudging over at whatever, I hope to get Jay Dyer not up against a bunch of 304s or 608s. This is dumb. I don't want to talk to a fat hoe. This is dumb. Stupid. Waste of time. She's going to go back to hoeing. Having him go up against someone like Johnny Lang or any of those guys, because if it's not going to be on their if it's not going to be on their platform, George Janko, if it could be on whatever, it needs to happen. Those guys are the worst. All those, they just, it's frustrating.
Jim Bob, since you have a harmonica, I wanted to ask if you like Blues Traveler. They're probably one of the few quote notable artists who used harmonica a lot, besides maybe Billy Joel. I'm a big fan of Hook.
I can't believe you didn't include Alanis Morissette, who somehow figured out how to play a harmonica like she's on a ventilator. I liked Blues Traveler when Blues Traveler was a thing. I didn't mind it. I wasn't like buying any of their stuff or following them around or anything, but he's definitely a good player, good singer, but I wouldn't say I liked them, like that would be a choice of like, oh cool, Blues Traveler. It's a little aggressive, honestly. I don't know how to describe it. It's like Blues Traveler, their music is the musical equivalent to someone standing too close to you. Does that make sense? So it's the only analogy I can give. It's like this person standing too close, and it's like, okay, you dress well, okay, you have a good, you're a good person. You're standing too close. Get away from me. That's what it feels like. Junior Kimbrough. Kimborough. Is he a blues player? Let's get into Sneeko being a $1 billion contract to continue pushing Islam. Who pays for that, Craig? That's what I want to know. Who pays for that? It's like 27 of the 50 of the second batch. I'm getting inspired to animate something. The Mormon animation was a hit, but I need to move along, so I'm thinking Peterson might need to be roasted again. Actually, he needs to be boiled. He's a lobster! Joey says, Johnny Chang said Lent Christ already did it for... Yeah, he did everything, right? You don't need to do anything.
Yeah, he did it for us. Look at my neck. Look at my neck tattoo. No, he already did it for us.
Honestly, I'll continue once in a while to sort of rip on those guys, but I'm going to leave it to people like Jay who are more knowledgeable, Sam, Shamoon, Posh, these types, to battle these people. Because you know what happens with me? I just get really annoyed with them. It actually brings out bad parts of me to engage and watch these people. It does. Not today with Peterson. It does. Specifically the Jenko, that whole group of people. Because I think it's so naive but harmful. Here, playing my own music. I just think it harms people because it's so infectious. It's like the West, young men, they would love to look at Christianity as just a feel-good, thing that you just, as long as you feel good and bro, he's your best friend and oh my gosh, Jesus is also my best friend. I mean, you guys want to go to the movies with Jesus? He's so cool. I mean, isn't Jesus cool?
Yeah, it's totally cool, man. Helped me out working out, got me through a bunch of stuff. He's like the friend you can always call on, always answers the phone. You got that friend who doesn't answer the phone. Well, Jesus is the type of friend who does answer the phone. You never have to worry about that phone going silent. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally, man. I even take bathtubs and think of Jesus, and I'm thinking, you know what? If Jesus was like here today, I would be kind of like Twitter pated. I would probably get like emotional, and I would be starstruck. I'd be starstruck. It's like, F you people. You guys suck. See? Already brings out the worst in me. John Veliquet, $5. What you just played sounds like a good intro to a movie, maybe a Western. Yeah, that's the vibe I get from... I can't play anything else on the harmonica. That's why, John, though. Someone's like, can you play this other tune? And I'm like, no. Only sad or dreary establishing shots in Westerns. And they're like, can you play Mary Had a Little Lamb? No. But picture a town with a railroad station going through it. A small post office. Some horses tied up. I'm just trying to jam with you, Jim Bob. Can't you just play like, just basic something? No. This is all you get. Doyjol, $4.99. You know how Jordan's one's been our... Wait, what? Is how Jordan's one's been on tour. What about animating tour series where Jordan talks over his guest next? I need to turn Jordan into an animal. Turn him into a little lobster. Put his faces in the front. So he's still red. He still has wild hair. I'm going to make the lobster have wild hair that I figured out how to add gravity and effects in my animation so hair swings and sways. Justin says do a music stream for the newbies sometime. That would be fun. 30 out of 50. I could do some music. Great to see you on whatever. You were very entertaining, sir. Thank you, Pinkerton. That's right. That's the right thing. That's what I like to hear. Lobster in a dumb suit. Yeah, that's funny. Like a lobster who's still walking around, but he has really nice shoes, but on all 6 of his legs. Is it 6? Now I want lobster. I haven't had lobster in so long. Oh my gosh, I want lobster. Can we eat lobster? Hey, Lent boys. Where's my Lent boys at? Bendy, warpy space-time, huh? Yeah, no, I deny it. I deny it. Answer, my friend, is born in the wind. The answer is bling. Another $2 from John. Thank you so much. Try playing anything from Handel's Messiah. What is that? I don't know what that is. Is that Jew music? Jim Bob, why did Brian end whatever early? Because, because it was a lackluster panel, but he got through the whole entire page of prompts. We could have kept it going, maybe try to pull more out of it, but I think it was more like, it was a couple things missing that night. 4 of the chicks didn't show up. His otherwise behind the scenes producer who's doing all the changing the cameras he was sick, so there was a couple missing things. But, it was good. 100% Philip, he is admitted, he says Christians should all be... Who? Who said it? It's so hard to track the conversations these days. We can have calamari, squid, shrimp, prawns, lobsters. Oh my gosh, you hear that, Meg Bob? Megan despises the smell of anything like fish, cooked fish, shellfish, but she'll eat sushi. Turn right into a damn bear right at the table. But anything that... And so I miss calamari. I miss all this stuff. Because I have to, she literally makes me, sit away from her. Shameful corner. Eating a really nice sort of, mixed seafood pasta or something. Just alone in the corner. Just her with a disgusted face on, just looking at me. You're disgusting. You disgust me. Oh, Ruslan? He's a weird dude. At least he has, better exchanges, conversations. He defends traditional aspects of Christianity. I think there's a group of people who, in public, are still sort of proddy, and they don't tell anybody that they've been attending Divine Liturgy. So there's that. You should react to the conversation between Hijab and young Bob to get into nominalism universals. Maybe Weeb Gamer. The thing with that stuff is it's so boring. It's just it's so mind-numbingly philosophically boring. No offense. I don't think it's boring. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's generally boring to people. Recently had oysters for the first time in Florida. Really? First time? That's wild. You're my age, dude. How did that happen? Were they just disgusting to you so you never tried them? Or you're like, what are they doing? Why would you eat that thing? Slightly allergic? Well, you could be. To know that, you'd have to have them without anything. Any of the hot sauce or the added thing. Oh, now I want oysters now. This is killing me. I might have to go out to eat alone. Handel's Messiah is about the gospel with songs like Hallelujah, Worthy is the Lamb. Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't know that. I played Hallelujah. At least the Leonard Cohen. Oi, the Leonard Cohen kind. Oi, oi.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
Oh, yeah, but you Leonard Cohen? Oh. You like oysters, don't you? I like that question, don't you? Oh. I love oysters with beer. Oysters, hot sauce, slurp, drink. Oh. Simple. Kumamoto, yeah, those are the ones, right, Austin? That's the ones you get. When I lived in California, you'd go to the beach, and there was a place where they had like probably 20 different types of oysters or something crazy, and like 8 different types of crab. It was expensive as hell, but you know, you look away. You just look away, and you order it, and it comes all sloppy in a bag, and you go and sit at the crappy, stinky tables, and you get a crappy beer in a plastic cup. Bunch of lemons. I sure miss that. Roberto Torres, $5. Recommend listening to "That's the Way It Is" by Daniel Lanois. Sad, hopeless, Western, but also uses a harmonica. I'm trying to learn this new song. I'll actually play it for you, with the risk of, I don't think copyright, they give you strikes against your channel, so it doesn't. I don't think it matters, but it's a guy named Willie T. Taylor, who really should have way more followers than, who's that redheaded beard guy who got super famous because Joe Rogan liked him? You remember that dude? Super famous, red beard. No one with red hair should be famous, first of all. But this guy wrote and performs this song. It's just great. I'm trying to learn it. The reason I'm having trouble is he plays a tenor guitar, but which I have a tenor guitar, but I still don't know his tuning. So maybe my music nerds can help me out here.
Some mountains in men are bigger than you think. Some rivers so fast, hell, you can't take a drink. Some burdens so heavy, you can't help but sink in that ocean with the chains on one too many link. I'm a laid back one, and I've been one so long. I ain't perfect, you can tell by my songs. Brothers, forgive me for all of my wrongs. The good Lord, He's calling, and it's time to go home. Say what you will and do what you must. That rain's coming soon, boys, gonna clear up this dust. And I ain't had a home in so very long, but I'm heading to the house, boys, I'll leave the light on. 'Cause I'm a laid back one, and I've been one so long. I ain't perfect, you can tell by my songs. Brothers, forgive me for all of my wrongs. Good Lord, He's calling, and it's time to go on home. I wore out my shoes in that wrong way to run. I blistered my skin working hard in the sun. Supper's almost over, and I done cleaned my plate, and there's a light shining yonder, boys, I don't think I'll wait. I'm a laid back one, and I've been one so long. I ain't perfect, you can tell by my songs. Brothers, forgive me for all of my wrongs. The good Lord, He's calling, and it's time to go home. I hear Him calling, and it's time to go home.
That's The Wrong Way to Run by Willie T. Taylor. Plays it on his little retuned tenor 4-string. Pretty awesome. I like his stuff, but he's just not around, you know? I don't know if he's health issues or just quit. But he's definitely better songwriter, player, singer than. I mean, I guess that's not it's not a high bar. Was even a train in the end? Oh, that's funny. Airstream poser identified. Yeah, he seems a little hipstery. You know, who knows? He probably took a trip out from LA into the meadows. And, you know, got all dressed up as if he lives out there and all that. Benjamin Todd. Yeah, I'm trying to learn that song. I'd like to learn that song. But I can't quite get it. I know it's A, and I know it's some type of open tuning he has on the tenor. Not sure. I heard he choked on his own beard while sleeping. I just realized he's a ginger. I shouldn't even be promoting him, honestly. I take it back. The rumor is the hayfield was all sod. I mean, we're at the point where you can fake the entire thing, right? That's what's sad. You can fake the entire thing. Brothers, forgive me for all my wrongs. The good Lord coming, trying to go home. I'm a laid back one, I've been for so long. I ain't perfect, you can tell by my song. Brothers, forgive me for all my wrongs. It's a good melody. You know who I like? John Preen. You know, one of my songs. Actually, I'll play you guys out with my song, okay? How's that? How's that sound? People say it sounds like John Preen. John Preen. Let's do this. This one is called Lie to Me, I think. Is that what I named it? I don't even know anymore. It's early in the evening and I'm yelling to the sky. Well, I swear I've seen the second sun, I'm telling you no lie. Like a pair of burning eyes staring at me from afar. Thought I'd chase him down, so I hopped on in my car. As I turned the key, I looked and they were gone. Don't know what I seen, but something's going on. It was a bright blue sunny morning, not a single cloud in sight. Ground Zero's calling for a non-existent flight. Like a double game of Jenga, they came tumbling to the floor. Something had to justify a 25-year war. The mothers, they came forward, demanding truth for all. Anyone with a half a brain would know that's not how buildings fall. Well, you can't lie to me. I got eyes
playing hide and seek with my mind. You can call me crazy anytime. Thank you, Alanis Morissette. 1969, and they're gathered round the tube. Oh, Jackie's dead after he said we're going to the moon. And everyone believed that we finally won the race. Now the whole world's mesmerized by animated space. Half a century later, and we still have not gone back. But we nailed it on our first attempt on a flimsy tinfoil shack. You can lie to me. I got eyes to see. You're playing hide and seek with my mind. You can call me crazy anytime. Now I'll go outside and I see zombies everywhere, with the windshields on their faces, looking for the next big scare. And all their little screams tell them they are close to harm. Big Pharma says no worries, just let us in your arm. But I don't know about you, I'm keeping my veins clean. I will not be an extra in your one-world movie scene. You can lie to me. I got eyes to see. Playing hide and seek with my mind. You can lie to me. I got eyes to see. You're playing hide and seek with my mind. You can call me crazy anytime. You can call me crazy anytime. You can call me crazy. You can call me crazy. You can call me crazy anytime. Mountain Town? Okay. All right, one more, then I'm out. Out of tune, though.
I was born in a mountain town, in a little old farmhouse by the stream. Sorry, hold on a second. I ain't sitting right. You like that Travis picking, don't ya? I was born in a mountain town, in a little old farmhouse by the stream. And I sit up on those rocks and I dream about leaving that old mountain town. So I went out to Hollywood land with this old guitar, not a dollar in my hand. But I never made a deal, my soul they couldn't steal. And I packed it up and I left that Hollywood land. Time to head on down the road. Can't do it on my own. Can't bear this heavy load as I try to find my way back home. So I went back to the mountain town, got a little old farmhouse by the stream. You know, I sit up on those rocks and I dream about growing old in that little old mountain town. Time to head on down the road. Can't do it on my own. Can't bear this heavy load as I try to find my way back home. We've got 11 chats left. There's 11 chats left on the go. Don't leave me hanging in the cold. One super chat. This is that time to shine. 10 super chats left. That'd be funny. Just do that for all 50. You just sing the same song for 50 chats. Orthodox Pilgrim, $5. Here's money for an RC Cola and a moon pie. Mr. Troubadour, thank you. This song reminds me of a poem I recently wrote. I'm a poet. You want to fight me? Good struggles, my friend.
Ain't no use in sitting and wonder why. If you don't know by now, ain't no use in sitting and wonder why. It'll never do anyhow. When the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window, 'cause I'll be gone. You're the reason why I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in sitting and wonder why, babe. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. A light I never known. Ain't no use in turning on your light, babe. I'm on the dark side of the road. Wish there was something you could do or say to make me change my mind and stay. You never did too much talking anyway. Don't think twice, it's alright. Ain't no use in calling out my name like you never done before. Ain't no use in calling out my name. I can't hear you anymore. I was a child, I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright. So long, honey, babe, where I'm bound, can't tell. Goodbye's too good a word, babe, so I wish thee fairly well. I ain't saying you treated me unkind. Could have done better, but I don't mind. You sort of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright. Is this the wrong key? Oh, fuck it. Two more chats. Tell Bill is really rough on my shoulders, but I'll do it for you because you sent $2. Unbelievable. Fucking guy. Tell old Bill when he come home this morning, Bill came home about 8:30 this morning. Bill came home about 8:30 this evening. Well, Bill came home about 8:30. Bill came home through that old front gate this morning, this evening, too soon. Si was home, she was making bread this morning. Si was home, she was making bread this evening. Well, Si was home, she was making bread when she heard the news that old Bill was dead this morning, this evening, too soon. Bill came home in a hurry-up wagon this morning. Bill came home in a hurry-up wagon this evening. Well, Bill came home in a hurry-up wagon. Bill came home, his feet was dragging this morning, this evening, too soon. rose in the fall. If I can have my shady grove, I want no one at all. Shady grove, my little love, shady grove, I say. Shady grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Cheeks as red as a blooming rose and eyes like curious brown. She's the darling of my heart, sweetest girl in town. Shady grove, my little love, shady grove, I say. Shady grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. I was just a little boy, I wanted a Barlow knife. Now I just want Shady Grove to say she'll be my wife. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Get myself a big fine horse and corn to feed him on. Shady Grove can stay at home and feed him when I'm gone. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away.
Got my dancing boots on? Clicker, $20. You need Are You Not Entertained clip? Yeah, I do need that. Thank you so much for that super chat. Brad, $10. Impressive, more than just a debater and a funny man. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Enzo, $9.99. Thank you so much. Enzo, Tiffany, thanks for the stream, Jim Bob. Please don't forget thumbs up, y'all. Yeah, please be good, safe out there. Don't get into trouble. Good night. God bless. Caesar the Grape, thank you for your golden folder. Orthodox Pilgrim, thank you so much for that, $10. Jessica Bowman, another $5. Please say, play Shady Grove. Yes, I did that for you. Kyle, $10, says nothing. Super chat twice is all right. Thank you so much, Alan. David Atlas, $2. Kyle, $2. And Enslaved by Truth, $2. $2 buckaroonies. Thank you for your support. I'm trying to think if there's one more now that I have this in my hand. I got one for you. Hold on a second. Gotta go higher. That doesn't work. Hold on a second. Hold on. Must leave now. Tell you what you need. You think will last. Whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. Actually too high. Sorry. Do it again. You must leave now. Tell you what you need. You think will last. But whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. He understands your orphan with his gun.
on your streets. Drawing crazy patterns on your sheets. Sky too is folding onto you. It's all over now, baby blue. All you seasick sailors, they are rowing home. You empty-handed armies, they are going home. Taking the lover who just walked out the door. It's taking all his blankets from the floor. The carpet too is moving over you. It's all over now, baby blue. Leave your stepping stones behind. Someone calls for you. Forget the dead you left, they will not follow you. The vagabond who's rapping at your door is standing in the clothes that you once wore. Strike another match, go start anew. It's all over now, baby blue. It's all over now, baby blue. It's all over, baby blue. Well, that was a shit show. All right. Is Bob taking callers? I don't think so. I mean, you gotta do that before I pick up the guitar, you know what I mean? Ollie Wally, blue vegan. What are you, a vegan? Vegan's shit. I'm a vegan, I'm not going to live for too long. I need some meat in my brain or I'm gone. I am missing B12 in my head, missing all the things I need to not be dead. I'm a vegan, there's only 1% of us. I am a vegan and I think animals are equal to us, but saying so is kind of a performative contradiction. Why should I listen to you if you're equal
like Pearl Jam Low Light? I like some Pearl Jam songs. What was that one song? Oh, sorry is the fool who trades his soul for a Corvette. Thinks he'll get the girl, he'll only get the mechanic. What's missing? He's barely living. What's missing? Barely living. He'll soon forget. There's one more time around, and on a sound, he's lying dead, clutching in the middle, never put the money down. He's pissing, he's living a day he'll soon forget. Counts his money every morning, the only thing that keeps him horny. Locked in that giant house that's alarming. The townsfolk, they all laugh. Sorry is the fool who trades his love for high-rise rent. Seems the more you make equals the loneliness you get. But it's missing, it's barely living. A day he'll soon forget. That's one more time around. There is not a sound. He's lying dead, clutching Benjamins, never put the money down. He's pissing, they're whistling. A man will soon forget. Something like that. All right, that's it for me. You guys have to find another place to go. All right? Is that okay with you? Okay? Red Hot Chili Peppers? No, that's not Red Hot Chili Peppers. No. Red Hot Chili Peppers suck. They're the worst. Dude, they're the worst. Jay Dyer, is he up? Okay, let's go. Counts his money every morning. Almost heaven. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, California River. Things are old here, older than the trees, younger than the mountain, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. All my memories gather round here, now and late evening, blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty like moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. I hear a voice on the wind that calls me. Oh, now the lonely of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Virginia. Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road, nice save. Take me home, country road. Red Hot Chili Peppers socks. Just shut up, dude. And John Denver shouldn't have been in that plane. It should have been Anthony Kiedis. Dark. I went dark. Yeah, I went there. Why does the Chili Peppers get to live until they're 95? Huh? Unbelievable, unfair. Just terrible. Fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers. You guys are a bunch of idiots. Bunch of dummies. Not a single song about anything. It's just unbelievable. I know for sure. A bang ding ding dong ding be dong ding ding. Oh wow, you're so edgy. You're 90, dude. What are you doing? Get your life together. Yeah, I bet you like that song, Becky. No wonder. Yeah, of course Becky's a big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Why wouldn't she be? Unbelievable. Where do these vegans come from? Nothing in this world is hard for me. Sunshine and rainbows is all I see. Even in the middle of catastrophe, my skin tone gets me through. I don't really have to work that hard. I just call Jose to come mow my yard. All I really need is my white privilege card, and my skin tone gets me through. My skin tone gets me through. Okay. I just keep coming with more here. Bob White or Italian, Irish. It's probably a bagel. There's a hidden bagel back there in time. Don't want to talk about it. Okay?
Wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. I watched you suffer. Dull aching pain, and now you decided to show me the same, but no sweeping exits. Off stage lines could make me feel bitter, treat you unkind, 'cause wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. 'Cause wild, wild horses will ride them someday. And I know I dreamed you sin and a lie, but now I got my freedom. I don't have much time. Fate has been broken. Must be crying. Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, let's do some living after love dies. 'Cause wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses will ride them someday, whatever, fuck it. Figured I'd give that a shot while I'm here. F not D. Oh, dude, that's what it is, bro. 'Cause wild, wild horses will ride them someday. 'Cause wild, wild horses will ride them someday. Thanks, Dr. Crispy. My life has changed. I'm out! It's a good song to know. I wanna bluegrass that up a little bit when I practice it, you know what I mean? Thanks for the patience, everybody. Painted Black. I should probably cover the Sympathy for the Devil, even though it's a little demonic. It's got a real good drive, doesn't it? You know what else I can sing? Well, I just got in and out about an hour ago. Took a look around, see which way the wind blow. Where the little girls in the Hollywood bungalow. Are you a lucky little lady in the city of line?
Oh, just another Los Angeles, city of nine, city of nine, city of nine. No melodies. The Doors have no melodies. There's literally no melody. Motel murder madness. I'll tell the room of glad to sadness. Mr. Mojo rising. Oh, Mr. Mojo rising. Oh, Mr. Mojo rising. Rising, right? It's like, shut up, dude. Go get a job, you loser. You dirty hippie. Put a shirt on, you goblin. How about that? Anyway, that's it for me. Adios, amigos. So long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Stupid Jim Morrison. I was gonna say what a waste of talent, but yeah, right. Not even close. Not even close. All right, I'm out of here. See you over at Jay's, all right? God bless y'all.